Welcome back to Wrestling Flash. If you are new, be sure to like and subscribe for more wrestling content. Without wasting any time, let's get into today's video. Carmella has targeted Sasha Banks for a number of weeks now, and the boss is yet to address the untouchable superstar, which is obviously causing Carmella to continue with the weekly assaults. Following Banks' win over Asuka back at Survivor Series, the SmackDown Women's Champion doesn't have any challengers and can finally turn her focus to Carmella. The former Miss Money in the Bank is no stranger to no disqualification matches since she collided with Nikki Bella at WWE TLC back in 2016 in a match that had no rules. This year could be the boss's turn to get some revenge. Carmella hasn't wrestled a match in a number of months, which would definitely put her at a disadvantage here. The women of WWE like to make history and step it up at WWE TLC, so it's likely that Sasha Banks will want a stipulated match to ensure that she can send a message to Carmella and any other woman who thinks about challenging for her women's championship. Funhouse Bray Wyatt has been hinting that The Fiend is coming for Randy Orton over the past few weeks, and now that Orton is out of the WWE Championship picture, The Fiend has set his sights on his former friend. The Fiend definitely has to send a message to Orton in this feud because the former 14-time WWE World Champion burnt down the Wyatt family compound and was able to infiltrate his family. Not only that, but Orton walked into WrestleMania and took away Wyatt's WWE Championship that he won for the first time at Elimination Chamber back in 2017. This feud has history, and it definitely won't be over with one match, since it's expected to continue through into 2021. At present, it's unknown what kind of match these two men will collide in, but it's a safe bet to assume that it will be a cinematic match, and it could take Orton back to 2016 when he first encountered the Wyatt family and sister Abigail. Rey Mysterio's feud with Seth Rollins started in May. Rollins took out Mysterio, sending him first into the corner of the steel ring steps. The duo even wrestled in a night for a night match. The most interesting part of this feud has been Murphy's role. Murphy started off as Seth Rollins' disciple, but as the feud went on, got involved in a romantic angle with Rey's daughter Aalyah Mysterio. Rey and Seth Rollins' feud finally ended a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, with Murphy turning of his former mentor for once and for all, taking him out with a knee strike and helping Rey Mysterio win the match. The following week on SmackDown, Murphy went on to beat Seth Rollins in a singles match. After turning his back on Seth Rollins, it finally looks like the rest of the Mysterio family has accepted Murphy. Murphy was recently a guest on Corey Graves' podcast, After the Bell. During his appearance, Murphy opened up about his experience working with Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Murphy recalled how much fun the whole experience had been for him and had only good things to say about both Rey Mysterio and Dominic. "It's awesome working with him in a ring, and it's awesome to get in there with Dom. Obviously, he's so new to all of this and he holds his own. He listens. Man, it's fun. Being there with Rey is fun anyway because you're in there with Rey. But being in there with Dom is like another learning curve and makes you better. It's a challenge, and challenges are fun, and the whole storyline. Obviously it's gone for a long time. There have been hiccups in there, and why not? But I feel like it's because people aren't used to having something go for so long." With the feud with Seth Rollins over, it will be interesting to see what's next for Murphy's storyline with Aalyah Mysterio. Rumors suggest that WWE could be planning a romantic angle between the two of them. Nikki Cross left Alexa Bliss in the ring after an argument on SmackDown a few months ago, which was when The Fiend was able to target the former women's champion. Bliss has since become his new sidekick and has even been added to the Firefly Funhouse, but Nikki Cross has now decided that she wants her friend back. After a brawl last week on Raw, the two women faced off this week, with Bliss coming out on top after using some mind games that had obviously come directly from The Fiend himself. Cross has made it her mission to beat The Fiend out of Bliss, and at WWE TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs next month, Cross could be given the chance to fight Bliss with an added stipulation. It would be interesting to see if Alexa Bliss would put her place in the Funhouse on the line in order for Cross to have to join them. If she fails to defeat her former friend, Vince McMahon is arguably one of the fittest men on earth of his age. Even at the age of 75, We have recently seen some videos where he was demonstrating how to take bumps from height. What can stop Vince McMahon if he decides to wrestle again? What if he decides to wrestle Paul Heyman? During a recent interview, Paul Heyman spoke about various things. An interesting question asked to him was on who he'd like to main event WrestleMania with. Paul Heyman is arguably one of the best managers and microphone workers in WWE history, but he isn't known for his wrestling skills. Yet, he came up with an interesting WrestleMania main event idea against none other than the chairman of WWE himself, Vince McMahon. I want to main event a WrestleMania in a bodybuilding pose down with Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Number 1, I'm sure the payday would be spectacular. Number 2, because I wear suits all the time, my physique is highly underrated and underappreciated. Vince McMahon, to his credit, still works out very hard in the gym. I would love to defeat him in a bodybuilding pose down at WrestleMania. This year, we've seen him on our TV screens a couple of times, the recent one being to introduce WWE Thunderdome a couple of months ago. He had a chilling confrontation with the Fiend Bray Wyatt, which unfortunately didn't lead to anything. Behind the screen, Vince McMahon is still in charge of finalizing all the creative decisions. As for Paul Heyman, he has formed an impressive new alliance with Roman Reigns after WWE SummerSlam earlier this year. Calling himself the special counsel to the tribal chief, Paul Heyman has massively helped in establishing the new character of Roman Reigns, and fans are absolutely loving it.